Hasira ya nini we mama, hasira ya nini we mama, wataka kuniua bure mama. Wewe una wako nyumbani, mimi nina wangu nyumbani ye. Chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe? Hey jamani, zilizopendwa. Oh my gosh, you know, there are some things that I can't change. They have to stay the way they are. No wonder this music is called Zilizopendwa, because they are beloved. This music is beloved. It's like perfect. I mean, like it's from them days. It's old, but you know, like every time I wake up on Sunday morning when the sun is shining, like today, I just feel like singing these old songs, guys. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. If you've not liked my videos, please like my videos. If you have not recommended my channel to your friends, please recommend, and let's kick this ball. Let's start this ball rolling. Is that how they say it? Anyway, today it's a beautiful Sunday morning. I just had my coffee and I just felt like recording something for the channel. I was in holidays. I just came back a while ago and trying to, go back to the work spirit, try to focus on my work and stuff. There's a lot of catching up to do, and so I didn't really have time to record anything since I came back. But anyway, I was just sitting back there on the sofa and wondering what I should record for the channel. And I remember I promised that I'm going to give a few tips for international students who might be interested in coming to study in Germany. As I said in one of my earlier videos, I studied in Germany, and that's a story for another day. I can explain the details, but today I just want to give the general information, what's required when you want to come to study in Germany. First, let me say there are many ways to come to Germany, and I'm not an expert in immigration issues, so I do not want anybody to misquote me or to say, oh, he said. Melanated Quach, that's my YouTube channel name, and that's also my artistic name, Melanated Quach, from melanin, my beautiful skin, which I basically don't take care of, it's natural, and Quach, which is the Luo language name for leopard, so I'm the black leopard, melanated Quach. Anyway, what was I saying? So don't misquote the black leopard, don't misquote the melanated Quach. I'm just giving you general information. Some of the information might be outdated, some of the information might be still valid. You have to check. So let's start and see how far we're going to go. So first things first, as I said, there are many ways of coming to Germany. I've seen videos on YouTube. You can come to Germany as an au pair. I don't know basically what au pairs do, but I have a few friends who are au pairs, and basically they stay in someone's home and help with the household activities, and on the side learn German or learn the culture, something like that. Some help with taking care of children, young children who are staying at home, taking them to school, picking them from school, going shopping, stuff like that, maybe helping with the household chores like cleaning up. I don't know, I seriously do not know, and I cannot say anything more than that regarding au pairs. So if you'd like to come to Germany as an au pair, I would recommend going to YouTube and to search for those YouTubers who have videos explaining how they came to Germany or to another country as an au pair, because you can go to many countries as au pairs. So I'm not going to go into that. Guys, I need to clear my nose. So that's the one way, au pairs, and as I said, no details, not on this channel. Go to the other channels, there are people who are good at that. The second way to come to Germany is by, and by the way, sorry, I am talking about coming to Germany when you want to stay here for longer, not just as a tourist, because that's another way. You can come to visit for a day or two or for a week and then go back, or come for medical treatment. Excuse me, I'm not talking about all that short visits. I'm talking about visits that require residence, longer residency here in Germany for more than 1 year, or for maybe 6 months. Let's say 6 months and above. So the first one is au pair. The second one is if you're joining your family. It's family reunion. Like, let's say you're married to a German, or you have family here in Germany and you want to reunite with them, so you can apply for a family visa and you can reunite with your family, however you are connected or related to them. I am not going to those details. So there's the family reunion visa. There are requirements that you must meet. You can find them on the website of the Immigrations Ministry of Germany. I will leave the links below, so you can find the details there. And by the way, people, let me say this. A lot of people, they expect to be spoon-fed. Spoon-feeding. You take a spoon, deep into somebody's mouth. I do not do spoon-feeding, guys. I do not do spoon-feeding. Even when I was working as a student assistant, when I was still studying in my former university, there were a lot of questions from, potential students who want to come and study in Germany. And most of the information, you could find it in the internet. You could just Google it, or as I love saying it, you could Google it. You could just simply Google the information and you find all the information that you need. And some of those questions you're asking, it's not really important to ask them, and you should really sit down and take time with the internet and Google for the information. If you don't find anything, then you can ask. So I do not spoon feed. So if you expect me to come and give you all the nitty-gritty treats or whatever it's called, I won't do it, guys. Okay? Let's make that clear. So first, au pair. Second, family reunion. Third, what's the third one? As a student, yeah? And I will talk now a little bit more how you can come to Germany as a student. Well, to start with, you need to be qualified to study in Germany. You just can't wake up one day and say, I'm going to come and study in Germany. It's not gonna work. You need to have the basic qualifications. And there are many ways of coming to study in Germany depending on your level of education at the time of applying. So I will try to break them down into several levels of education, beginning with the basic. You can come here to study a bachelor's degree in a German university. There are a lot of German universities nowadays which offer bachelor's degrees in English if you don't want to study in German, but there are not so many bachelor programs that are in English as compared to those ones that are in German. And if you really want to have more options, I would recommend just studying in German, but then it means learning the language first. So anyway, but if you want to come to study in Germany for a bachelor's degree, you have to have the basic qualification as stipulated by each of the German universities, but the general requirement is you need to have finished high school and graduated with a good grade. I come from Kenya. Originally I'm from Kenya, and for example in Kenya they have these examinations that it's done at the end of the 4-year high school education, which is called the KCSE, the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, and you need to have a minimum grade that qualifies you to be admitted to a Kenyan university, basically, which is like a C plus. The last time I checked, I think it's a C plus overall grade. But then that's just the basic. When you come to study in Germany, they'll check to see actually if those grades and if the overall, the overall grade and the specific subject grades are sufficient to allow you to be admitted to the university. In many cases, a C plus will not be sufficient to get a direct admission to a bachelor's degree in Germany. You'll be forced to make a kind of a foundation year, a preparatory year, in a special college, Studienkolleg it's called. Yeah, I think it's Studienkolleg it's called. And there you learn specific subjects that are related to the bachelor that you want to study in the future. And of course, you also learn the German language and of course English language and any other language that you want to learn, depending on the language of instruction for the bachelors that you want to study in the future. So you will be forced to go to this preparation year, this foundation year, before you can study the bachelors. And then after that, once you pass the foundation year, you will be given a special paper that allows you then to apply for the bachelor that you want to study. So basically a C plus, even though it's qualifying you in Kenya, I'm talking about Kenyan applicants here, even though it's qualifying you to go to a university in Kenya directly, it doesn't really qualify you here in Germany. You have to kind of make, it's like a bridging. It's like you're bridging, in between. And it's in most cases the same for other countries. To be admitted directly here, you need, last time I checked, it was like a B plane, like overall grade in KCSE, B plane. And a B plane, it's quite a high mark in Kenya, so you really must have passed your exams well. So if you got something less than a B plane, don't expect to get admitted directly here for a bachelor's program. In that case, it's better just to try to get the preparation year first. And also, there's a cutoff for the preparatory year. If you have very low grades, I think they will not pick you. So if you have like a D, or I don't know, I have to check the details, and we can talk about that later, the details. I can go into the specifics about the grades. I can check the websites, the information is there. But if you have very low grades, they will not admit you. So better look for other ways to come to Germany than studying. So guys, I'm gonna grab a cup of water. No, let me spoil myself some Coca-Cola, then I'll be right back. So where were we? We were doing the grades, right? We were talking about the minimum grade if you want to come to study. As I said, there are minimum grades that are required for each country. You need to check for your country. And the other thing, before I continue, and this applies to both bachelor's and advanced studies, German universities are very independent institutions, even though of course they are controlled for quality. But when it comes to admission, each German university makes its own admission requirements and you have to follow them. And that's why it's so confusing, because one university might be accepting applications directly, another university might not be accepting applications directly. They might ask you to apply through some other organization, some other company, which I'll come to later in this video. So you, as I said, you have to sit down, look in the internet what information is available. I always recommend go to the website of the particular university that you're interested in and carefully read what they require. Just don't wake up and send an application. It's not going to help you and you get rejected. Anyway, so if you have a high grade, as I said, a good grade, then you can be admitted directly to the university, but they might have other requirements. They might say if you want to come to study here and you want to study in English, then you must pass the English language test, and in most cases you must pass these English language tests, even for some countries where you studied in English. For example, in the university where I studied, if you want to come study there and you're from Kenya, even though in Kenya we study in English, English is our official language, it's the language you grow up speaking. If you're from the city, or you pick it up later in life if you're from the village, but still, when you come here, no matter where you studied in Kenya, no matter how good your English is, no matter how you wang or twang, you know what I'm saying, wherever, it doesn't matter. You will be forced to pass the IELTS exam, you'll be forced to pass the TOEFL exam, whichever they accept. It's a list of acceptable exams and minimum grades. If you do not achieve these minimum grades, they will not admit you, no matter how good your English is. Of course, there are exceptions, which I'll come back into later. So you have to meet those minimum requirements, then collect your documents, submit them submit the application through the stipulated procedure. As I said, some university you can send the application directly, others you have to apply through another organization. But in most cases, what I've seen for bachelor programs, in most cases you have to apply through a third party, this particular organization, and I'll leave the link here. It's called Uni Assist. You apply through Uni Assist. You can apply for several universities in Germany, and they are based in Berlin, and they process the application on behalf of the university. And if they check the documents that you've submitted to them and accept them and agree that they are good, then they are forwarded to the university, and then the university takes over from there. So they only check for the basic eligibility. They don't admit you, and then they'll send you a letter saying if you're qualified to be admitted to a German university or not. If you're not qualified, they'll tell you if you're qualified to be admitted to a to this foundation year. I'll call it foundation year, it's easier. If you're not qualified for the foundation year, then they'll tell you, I'm sorry, you cannot study in Germany at the moment. You have to first of all upgrade your education, so maybe do a bachelor's and then try for a master's later, something like that. Of course, they will not write all that information, but they'll say that you cannot be admitted to a German university at the moment. And then after that, if you're qualified, the university takes over, and then they process your application further, and then they'll inform you if you're admitted or not afterwards. So that's one thing. The other thing is that there are some courses that have a limited number of study places. They're not called numerous clause, numerous clause NC. If you see a program that has an NC on it, then it means you have to take another extra. You might take it. In most cases, you might take another extra step. You have to apply through another organization that controls these, these programs that have limited study places. It's called Hochschulrat. Again, I'm going to link up the Hochschulrat website down there so that you can read and see what they require. Last time I checked, the website was only in German, but I think they have an English version. I think you can translate to English. And in any case, nowadays, you can translate anything spontaneously. Yeah. So that's that for bachelor studies. Moving on to the masters. I'm not sober, Adiero, I'm not sober. I'm not sober because I've taken Guinness. I've taken Guinness and I got my power. Watoto wangu we, I'm not sober. Vijana wangu we, I'm not sober yawa. Does anybody remember that song? I remember those days we would go to the club, Kenyan people, okay? I'm sorry if you're not from Kenya. We would go to the club on Saturday or on Friday night, and then we would dance the whole night. We would get drunk like skunks, and then we would sing this song. You're like, you're not sober and you're still singing the song. Or the one I like the most is this gospel songs. Like when you're tipsy and then they start playing the gospel songs in the club. Oh my god! Oh, is it the club? Those are the the best. Like, remember this, what is she called? Esther Wahome, this artist, Kunadawa. For people who don't speak Swahili, Kunadawa means this medicine. So Esther Wahome is a gospel artist from Kenya, quite famed. I mean, those days she was quite famed, and she made this song which is Kunadawa, Kujeni Mnywe Dawa, I don't know what. And then basically it's talking about Jesus, like him being the medicine for all your troubles. if you believe in Christianity. And the drunkards, they kind of took the song and they were like, yeah, of course kuna dawa in the club, there's medicine. Huh? You know what I mean? So kuna dawa, but the guys clubbing, they would change the song. Instead of kuna dawa, which means there's medicine, they would say kunywa dawa, which means drink the medicine. So not kuna dawa, but kunywa dawa, drink the medicine. So we would drink the medicine, we would dance the whole night. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. Guys, anyway, I'm digressing. Where was I? Masters. Guys, I'm crazy. Please accept that I'm crazy and I'm certified crazy, so it's legal. Anyway, serious business. So, masters. This is where I can say I have a little bit more experience because I worked as an assistant in one of the international coordination offices in the university where I studied, and I helped a lot of students, especially from Africa and Asia and Latin America, to be admitted. Some of them even with almost, like their applications were not so perfect, but somehow I helped them to make the applications perfect. So I have a little bit experience, but guys, I have a little bit experience, but it's mostly for one university. But generally, the procedure, the requirements are basically the same, with differentiations, of course. So if you want to come to study a master's program, it's a bit easier now because you already have a bachelor's degree. Remember, and as I said, each university has its own regulations. In most cases, you have to apply. In a few cases, you send the application to the university. In most cases, the universities have an online application platform where you make an account and submit your application. And even nowadays, most universities are not even accepting paper application. You just submit everything on the website, on the platform, upload all the documents that are required on their specific places, submit the application and wait for the decision. And guys, I'm that old. When I came to study, I had to post my documents here from Kenya to Germany. It took forever for the documents to arrive, and then they were not even complete, and then I had to submit more documents. It just took forever. The post system in Kenya doesn't work that efficiently, and it was just taking forever for the communication to reach me. Of course, there was email communication, but still you had to do the paper application, and it was taking ages to get anything done. Nowadays, everything is online. You can actually apply through your phone if you have your documents saved to your phone as PDF files. PDFs are always the best. So each university sets its own requirements. I just give an example of where I studied one of my many masters. Guys, I have so many masters. Story for another day. It's not like I wanted to do all those masters, but if you want to know why, drop a comment. I'ma tell you the tea why I did so many masters, guys. Anyway, when I came to Germany, I came to kind of build up on the bachelor's that I had in Kenya. In Kenya, I studied agribusiness management, which was quite new when I studied, and it was a 4-year program, but as usual, strikes, I finished in almost 5 years, and then then I decided to come and study in Germany. I applied to a government university. I'll be talking about kind of universities in another video here in Germany, but it's a government university. There's a reason why I applied there. Basically, it's because they're very cheap. I applied there, and it's the University of Hohenheim. It's near Stuttgart city. It's one of the it's the oldest university in Stuttgart area. There are other universities, of course, and mostly they major in agricultural sciences. So I just wanted to build up on what I studied in Kenya. So I came here to study agricultural economics because they had an agribusiness program, but it was in German. And my German at that time was like null, that it's in zero. I could not speak a single word of German. I could not even say Stuttgart. I would say Stuttgart because that's how it's written. I would say Stuttgart, but it's Stuttgart. Guys, I was at the airport in Frankfurt when I arrived first time, in Germany, and I saw this black person, and I thought, oh my god, a brother, a black guy, I have to talk to him, I have to go. I was like, excuse me, brother, with my Kenyan smile. The Kenyans, they like smiling. Ding! My teeth now, forget it. Anyway, those days they were white. So I see this guy, I'm like, oh my god, excuse me, brother, could you please tell me the gate to the flight going to Stuttgart? And then the guy looks at me and speaks to me in German, and the only thing I heard was information. And then I repeat again, I'm sorry, I did not understand, could you please tell me which gate I should go to? And then he spoke to me with a very American accent. He was like, I'm not information. I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. So where should I ask the information? Over there. So I went to ask for the information from, white folks, I thought this black guy was my brother, but nope. Not every black person is your brother. Anyway, so I I went to the information center, and I was asking them which gate I should go to the flight to Stuttgart, and they were looking at me like, excuse me, is that in Germany? I said, yeah, it's in Germany. It's in Baden-Württemberg. And they were like, excuse me, say that again. Yeah, Baden-Württemberg. And then we don't know such a place, but maybe you mean Stuttgart in Baden-Württemberg. Guys. Anyway, my German was non-existent, so I could not do the agribusiness master. So I went to the second choice, which was agri-economics, because it's taught in English. And that time, everything was on paper. Nowadays, everything is online, and that time they did not require me to submit proof of proficiency in English, TOEFL, IELTS, whatever. I was exempted because they accepted that I was taught in English here, in Kenya. Nowadays, Kenyan applicants, if you studied in Kenya, you need to submit a TOEFL, you need to submit an IELTS. It's a minimum grade, it's quite high. I think for IELTS academics, by the way, not IELTS general, IELTS academic, it's 6.5 for this master program. For other master programs, it could be different. And TOEFL, I think 90 points on the computer-based exam. So things have changed nowadays. Kenyans applicants from other African countries where they are taught in English, you have to submit these extra exams. So that's why I said it's very important to go to the website and check what's going on, what's current, because the information that was valid yesterday might be invalid tomorrow. Good. Again, some universities have these NC, numerous clause master programs that are limited. They will tell you if they consider the limitations directly from the university, if they still process your application, or if you have to apply through the horseshoe route, that you have to check. Other universities will tell you have to apply through the UniAssist. Again, you have to apply through UniAssist. So it's always different. So after you have been admitted to a bachelor's or to a master's, or even to a language, and that's by the fourth way of coming to Germany. You can come to Germany to study German language. It's allowed, and that could be another way of coming to Germany. But I know somebody who came to study the language here, but in combination with studying. So I don't know anybody who came only to study language without furthering their studies. Anyway, once you get the admission to your choice university, and they've sent you the admission letters, they will tell you what to do. They'll give you further instruction on how to get a study visa. You have to go to the embassy or the consulate in your country, the German embassy or the German consulate in your country. In Kenya, there's Nairobi and Mombasa. Is there Kisumu nowadays? I don't think so. I think it's Nairobi and Mombasa. You can apply for a visa there, and then they'll give you a study visa, which is valid for a particular period of time, and in this period you must come to Germany. In most cases it is between 3 and 6 months. You must come to Germany, and then you can register at the university, and once you register, then you can go and change the visa to a resident permit. and there are of course conditions, so how to get a resident permit, how to get a visa, there are conditions. But one of the basic conditions if you want to come to study is that you must have the admission letter from the university. Without the admission letter, the notification of admission, you will not get a study visa. And of course there are costs associated with all these things. That's a video for another day. I don't want to go into those details. And also when you're applying through the university, in most cases the applications are for free. When you're applying through UniAssist, you have to pay a fee per semester that you've applied for, and per application I think you pay like a general fee, and then for the second application the fee is reduced. The more application you submit, the more fees you pay. A few universities will ask you to apply through UniAssist, and then you don't have to pay the fee. Just a few of them, like they're trying to promote their program, so they exempt you from paying the UniAssist fee. So you'll have to check what's what. That's another story. Anyway, then you can come to study. Once you finished studying, in most cases the bachelors here are 3 years in most cases, but really 3 intensive years, and the masters are normally between 1.5 years to 2 years. That's the regular study period. Period. You could study longer than that. You could extend with 1 or 2 semesters, for various reasons. We can talk about that later. But once you finish studying, you are allowed to stay here and look for a job, a professional job that kind of is commensurate, to your qualifications, the German qualifications, of course, and we can talk about that later. But they allow you to stay here for, at the moment, it's 18 months. And of course, as I said, there are costs associated with all these things. We can discuss that in another vlog. For now, I think you have enough information to do the basic searches. And as I said, go down, sit down somewhere, go to Google, visit these websites, read. Do not expect everybody to spoon feed you here. German universities expect you to be an independent thinking student. Don't expect to come here and get notes given to you on paper. You have to read, you have to compile these notes, you have to find this information. They expect you to be very independent also during the application procedure. So if you have to ask a question, it should be really a genuine question, or not just a question for the sake of asking. Of course you'll be answered, but the person answering you won't be happy, and you can tell from the tone of the email sometimes that the person is not happy, because in most cases they just refer you to a website. In that case, they're like, you're wasting my time, the information is on the website, go there. Okay, anyway, for now I think I will stop here. And as a quick recap, the following are some ways to come to Germany. So one method is, as I said, come as an au pair. Second is family reunion, like if you're married to a German citizen or a qualifying citizen who is living in Germany, like an EU citizen, for example. Or you can come to study, a master's or a bachelor's and a PhD, or you can come to study the language. Those are 4 ways. There are of course other ways which I did not talk about here. For example, there's I don't even know what it's called anymore. It's like kind of a volunteer year. You come here and volunteer for like 1 year or something like that, or you can come to do an internship. There are so many ways, but the major ways I would say is the au pair, the family reunion, and studying, either studying at the university or studying the language. And we can explore these ways in future vlogs. If you want to find information about studying, these videos are mostly on studying here in Germany. If you want to find information, I always recommend going to the DAAD that's too many A's, DAAD website. It has a very extensive database where you can search and specify, you can choose some parameters and specify the kind of program you're looking for, and then you can find the information there, like summarized in a good way in English and in German, and then you can visit the websites that are included for further information. In most cases, they always include the website of the university that's offering the program. That's the DAD. You can also check for scholarships there. They have a scholarship database. The other website that I always recommend is UniAssist, UNI-ASSIST, I think. UniAssist here, just the way I'm saying it. There it's where basically you submit application to different universities if the university require you to apply through UniAssist. And the other website is Hochschul Rat for programs that are marked as NC, that have limited applications, study places, So these websites are very important. And then, of course, the specific universities' websites. I mean, there's the general website from the university, and there's the specific program website. It's like an underpage of the main page of the university. Go there, check the information, read everything, and then of course it's the German embassy websites, and of course the German immigrations ministry websites. Go there, read all this information, and then at the end you'll be able to have like a general idea of what's supposed to be done. German universities are very straightforward. This don't expect, like in some countries, like you can like bribe the professor or something to get admitted, or I don't know, there are things that happen that happen out there that's not happening here. Here it's very straightforward. If you're qualified, you get admitted. If you're not qualified, you will not get admitted. In most cases, they'll give you a reason why you're not admitted. So I wish you guys all the best in your applications. The other thing I need to mention is that for most international students outside the EU, the European Union, or the EEA, European Economic Area, I think, the application deadlines for most cases are very early. So you need to choose. For example, where I studied, the application deadline for international students outside of the EU, EEA zone is normally the year before the studies program starts, if you want to be considered for scholarships, or around 15th March if you do not want to be considered for a scholarship. So you can imagine, like, you want to come to study here, which month are we now? We're in September now. If you want to study in that university next year in the program that I studied, and you want to be considered for a scholarship, you must submit the application this year, because they have a deadline this year. I don't know when the deadline is. Them days it used to be December 1st. But if you don't want to be considered for the scholarship, if you have your own other money or means to support your studies, then you can submit your application until March 15th next year. But the program is not going to start until October next year. So you need to check the specific, the information. You need to know the deadlines. You need to know which deadline is applicable for me, which is not. Do not get confused, And then after you have all this information, sit down, make a great letter of motivation. If you want tips on how to make motivation letters, I can give you that in another video. And then submit your application, and with a bit of luck, you'll get admitted. So all the best, guys. See you in the next video. Let me know what details I should go into, like specific details, and then I can try to find time to compile the information for you, and I will give you all the tea. Stay melanated, stay beautiful, no matter which color you are. Remember, every color matters. Love you. Peace out. Bye.